Good evening, bonsoir. Welcome to the regular public meeting on October 18. Bienvenue à la séance ordinaire publique le 18 octobre. Please rise for the national anthem. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des présentations?
Aucune présentation ce soir.
Do we have any items to be added or removed?
No items to be added or removed.
Perfect. Councillor Willett, adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the agenda be approved as presented.
May I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Hondas, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des déclarations de conflit d'intérêts?
Aucune déclaration de conflit d'intérêt.
Parfait. Adoptions of the minute, 6.1, regular public meeting held September 20th, 2021. Councillor Brunet.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I so move that the minutes of the regular public meeting dated September the 20th, 2021 be approved as circulated.
Perfect. May I have a second? Councillor Knowles. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des délégations ou des pétitions?
Aucun.
Parfait. On va arriver dans les finances. Accounts payable totals for September 2021. Councillor Legacy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the accounts payables total, excluding payroll for the month of September 2021, be approved as follows. Operating, $872,488. Capital, $76,615. For a total of $2,226,526.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor LeBlanc. Okay. Before we go to the vote, I'll go to Mr. Pettigrew.
Thank you, Your Worship. The following is a summary of the accounts payable for the month of September 2021. In the Capital Fund, Expert Fence received a payment of $44,847 for works at the fence at Public Works. Sansom Equipment received a payment of $31,769 for backup pumps, for a total in the capital of $76,615. In the operating fund, company 709072 NB Inc. received a payment of $17,043 for sewer line work. Bathurst Aquatic Center received a payment of $20,793 for beach lifeguards through the summer. Bell Alliant Mobility Radio received a payment of $19,626 for the internet and TMR radio monthly fees. Chaleur Regional Service Commission received a payment of $33,967 for garbage, sludge, and recyclables. Central Square Canada Software received a payment of $42,720 for our annual maintenance fees for last year. Chemtrade Chemicals Canada Limited received a payment of $23,745 for chemical supplies. Dusitz Landscaping Limited received a payment of $14,950 for demolition services throughout the city. Green Thumb Landscaping received a payment of $18,032 for beach maintenance. NB Power received a payment of $134,039 for electricity. St. Isidore Asphalt received a payment of $23,439 for road resurfacing. WEX Canada received a payment of $20,977 for fuel. Other recurring payments of $503,156 include animal control services, supplies, heating and diesel fuel, and repairs, for a subtotal of $872,488. Total payroll was $1,277,422, for a total for the month of $2,226,526.
Perfect. Does council have any questions? No? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Municipal bylaws, 9.1. Proposed bylaw 2018-02 and entitled the bylaw to amend bylaw 2018-02 respecting transient traders, peddlers, vendors, and mobile trucks in the city of Bathurst. First reading. Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Que l'arrêté 2018-02 a intitulé « Un arrêté pour modifier l'arrêté 2018-02 concernant les marchands ambulants, les colporteurs, les vendeurs et les cantines mobiles dans la ville de Bathurst soit passé en première lecture en entier. » Je vais maintenant lire. Arrêté numéro 2018-02A. Un arrêté pour modifier l'arrêté 2018-02 concernant les marchands ambulants, les colporteurs, les vendeurs et les cantines mobiles dans la ville de Bathurst. En vertu de la loi sur la gouvernance locale, le Conseil municipal de Bathurst dûment réuni adopte ce qui suit. L'arrêté numéro 2018-02, intitulé « Arrêté concernant les marchands ambulants, les colporteurs, les vendeurs et les cantines mobiles » est modifié de la façon suivante. En ajoutant un droit de permis annuel comme suit. Frais annuels signifie une année complète à compter de la date de début. La définition marchand ambulant est changée comme suit plutôt. Marchand ambulant, désigner toute personne, entreprise ou société, partenariat ou société ayant un bail de moins de 90 jours consécutifs qui offre d'acheter ou de vendre des articles et des marchandises aux enchères, à l'exception des ventes aux enchères de succession ou des ventes aux enchères organisées par la société philanthropique et les organismes à but non lucratif, ou par vente privée, ou qui, de toute autre manière, exploite un commerce ou une entreprise qui offre d'acheter ou de vendre des articles ou des marchandises dans la cité.
Parfait. Merci. Je peux avoir quelqu'un pour l'appuyer. Councilleur Brunet. Tout ça en faveur, signifiant en disant oui. Oui. Contre. Motion adoptée. 9.12, second reading. I made an error. It's 2018-02A. I forgot the A. It will be Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that bylaw 2018-02A, entitled A Bylaw to Amend Bylaw 2018-02, respecting transient traders, peddlers, vendors, and mobile trucks in the city of Bathurst be read for the second time by title.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Willett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. So now we do have a public presentation, proposed municipal plan amendment at 2144 Valilo Drive. Monsieur McLaughlin.
We're going to wait for the
Is that bon?
screen. We're going to wait for the screen, yeah.
Okay. C'est bon? Ah, OK, parfait.
Good evening, Your Worship. The presentation tonight is concerning a proposed amendments to the City Municipal Plan and Zoning Bylaw. Monsieur Roland Noël, président gestionnaire de Résidence Habitat Soleil, Residence Inc., est ici ce soir pour répondre aux questions du Conseil concernant la demande proposée pour l'amendement au plan municipal. It is a requirement of the Community Planning Act that a proposed amendment to the municipal plan be presented to the public. And that's the first step in the rezoning process when we amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw. The property in question is located at 2144 Valley Lode Drive, and Résidence Habitat Soleil recently purchased this property. The property is at the end of Valley Lode, and to be more specific, the property was previously owned by Les Religieuses Hospitalières de Saint-Joseph, and before the transaction, the property had been consolidated in one lot. The property is presently one building lot, having PID number 2091-1939. Here, just to give you the location of the property, more the site. The property is approximately 62 acres, and the property is surrounded by the north, east, and south by La Rivière Titagouche River, and by the west by railway and the Seine. The property is presently, this is the municipal plan map, and you could see at the end the property is presently zoned institutional. And what we're proposing, that's this type of zoning, the block of land will be zoned, the 69 acres will be rezoned to integrated development. We received a concept plan from Résidence Habitat Soleil. I'm going to go to a few slides. We have, it's a concept plan, and we have also some like 3D pictures to present. The request from Résidence Habitat Soleil Inc. is to amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw to allow a mix of residential development, community facility service, and cottage for tourists. The proposed development on the property is as follows. The interior of the existing building, which is located right here, will be used for a institutional use, and I will explain later what is already permitted on that property being zoned institutional. Well, and I'm going to go step by step what is potential of that property, what is proposed. Then a portion of the existing building, there will be a renovation to accommodate 15 to 20 mini apartments for low-income customers. There will be also construction of approximately 40 housing units and duplex, of which 25% will be for low-income customers, which is located in the yellow section here and the purple section here. Okay. In this section here, they're proposing the construction of duplex, 6 to 8 duplex, for customers who are victims of violence, and for readaptation also on the workforce. There will be a construction of the terrace that this property will be allowed to use, and also could be for recreational activity or commercial activity. On the property, there will be two major areas, which you see in green here. That will be for crop area, that's for gardening, vegetable, potatoes, carrots, etc., etc. And this area will be more for berries. They intend to use and to distribute to people in need. In this area, closer to the river, they propose several cottages, and that's for tourists or local people who want to rent a cottage. There will be also in this area, or could be in the main building also because it's a permitted use, there could be a palliative care center, and in this area they're targeting to have a vocational professional center to give course to professional. In this area here, there's a potential also for a daycare center. Since it's a major development, that's a big opportunity to Habitat Soleil to Habitat Soleil, c'est ça, yeah, to apply for, there's a big interest for the property to have a factor 0 point energy to install wind turbine and solar farm in this area. Maybe Mr. Noel could explain more what they're targeting in the future. I will show a few pictures that you will visualize better the concept. Like I mentioned, the property is already zoned institutional. And lots of the use is already permitted. To give you an example, education building, hospital, health building, library, municipal building, religious building, commercial daycare, government building, nursing and senior citizen home, group home. They are already permitted on the property, but mainly what we're targeting with the integrated development is to allow residential, solar farm, cottage. It's a mix of, it's a beautiful property, and they want to take the full opportunity. Right now, that's the main building on the property, which was mostly used by the religieuses hospitalières. Then the application tonight is to rezone the old property to integrated development. Integrated development, that's a type of block of land that the City Council, with the assistance of the Planning Advisory Committee, they could zone that property, and we could work to a proposed development like this one. It's specifically designed to work with the developer. And if there is a need in the future for variance, that we could go to the Planning Advisory Committee to achieve the development. We have to understand all the city service will be, the municipal service will be provided by the developer, and they have to conform also with all the setback from the river. All the other requirements of the zoning bylaw in a residential zone apply. It's just that it's easier to achieve this development to have an integrated development, which is specifically exists in our municipal plan. Council have the power to create that zone. Okay. That's mostly for the concept plan. I'm going to show you a few pictures again for location of the property. Then my presentation is completed. If City Council have a question for me or Mr. Noel, I will invite Council to do so now.
Merci. Avant de débuter, Monsieur Noël, j'aimerais vous féliciter. Je sais qu'on a eu une discussion, vous étiez venu nous rencontrer. Le fait que vous regardez à faire des appartements abordables, mais qu'est-ce que j'aime aussi, c'est la partie où ce que vous avez pour les personnes, tu sais, la maison de passage, les femmes à but, qu'il y a une transition qui peut se faire dans tout ça et d'être capable d'avoir son indépendance à nouveau, mais avoir une place à y aller et essayer d'avoir une vie saine pour les enfants qui vivent dans ce système-là. Bravo. Je sais que vous êtes à but non lucratif et tout l'effort, et je vois la vision et le développement, puis que vous allez avoir un peu un mélange des deux, d'abordable et pour ceux qui se permettent de le payer, je suis certain, parce qu'en étant en but non lucratif, il faut essayer de faire un peu de profit pour être capable de payer toute cette construction-là que vous allez faire. Fait bravo, félicitations. On a quelques questions. On va commencer avec Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. All I can say is, wow, this is really needed in our community. And I'm also impressed. I was in to visit Mr. McLaughlin with some questions, and I was pleased with the answers. The main building that's used now, that was used by the nuns, I didn't get a clarification. Is that going to be kept? Is it going to be used? The main building that's on there now, the big one, is that going to be used?
Oh, yes. Maybe Mr. Noel have plenty of project for the main building.
Okay.
Maybe Mr. Noel.
L'idée première était de convertir une partie de l'édifice pour des logements abordables, avec une entente avec développement social, et de garder une partie pour des chambres pour des étudiants. Actuellement, on est en pourparlers avec Vitalité pour louer 2 planchers durant la période de rénovation de l'hôpital, la vieille hôpital, qu'on appelle. Okay. Ça regarde bien et ça devrait être pour une période au moins de 5 à 6 ans, qu'ils nous ont dit. Okay. Fait, si ça se concrétise, on va utiliser l'annexe, puis on va faire les appartements dans l'annexe, puis quand ça sera le temps, on refera d'autres appartements dans la vieille partie qu'on appelle. OK.
I'm really glad that you're saving that building because I've been in there to many concerts in the chapel that were put on by Mr. Scott, and you could eat off the floor in there. It was such a nice building in such good shape, so I'm really, really pleased. My other question is, this is not downtown. It's not in the center of the commerce section, and these people living here now will be a ways from the grocery store, the pharmacy, etc. What plans do you have so that they can have access to the needs that everybody has every day?
Dans les plans, on voit ça avec les jeunes étudiants, là, que c'est loin pour eux. Tout ça. On a l'intention de mettre une navette qui sera spécialisée pour la population qu'on va desservir. Non seulement pour cette propriété-là, mais pour les autres propriétés qu'on a en ville, même à Beresford, etc. Ça fait qu'on va avoir cette indépendance-là pour permettre à ces personnes-là d'aller soit chez le médecin ou soit d'aller à l'épicerie, etc.
Thank you very much for that, and also a big thank you. Thank you doesn't seem to be enough, but thanks for what you and your committee are doing. The projects you already completed are fantastic as well, so again, merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Councillor Brunet, if we have our public transportation, that will be a non-issue, once we go ahead with that. You were waiting for that, eh? Councillor Brunet, conseiller Brunet, Willett, excuse-moi.
Merci. C'est rien qu'un commentaire. Je veux dire merci beaucoup d'apporter un projet de cette magnitude-là à la ville de Bathurst. On a vraiment besoin des projets comme ça. Puis ça fait que ça va faire vraiment du bien de travailler avec vous autres pour continuer à travailler avec vous autres parce que vous avez déjà fait beaucoup de projets en ville. Puis c'est ça. On a vraiment hâte de voir ce système-là se développer. Puis essayer de pousser d'autres à faire exactement la même chose aussi. Ça fait que, merci beaucoup.
Bienvenue.
Parfait. Et conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Juste une petite question. Premièrement, merci. Bravo. Une belle initiative, que c'est très difficile de ne pas supporter l'initiative. Couple de petites choses. Les appartements pour étudiants que tu avais jasé la dernière fois, est-ce que ça, c'est toujours quelque chose qui est en vue? Parce que je sais que tu parlais de discussion avec les CCNB. Tu avais déjà de quoi un projet en marche, peut-être pour Chipagan, ou il y a quoi qui se faisait similaire à Chipagan?
Non, mais pour ce bâtiment-là, actuellement, on a des étudiants étrangers qui sont là. On s'attend d'en avoir une quinzaine d'autres au mois de janvier si le projet avec le CCNB se poursuit. On veut maintenir le plus possible ces appartements-là. Okay. Je pense que c'est un endroit où les jeunes commencent à apprécier, même s'ils sont loin de des choses.
Oui, mais encore une fois, c'est drôle, j'avais écrit ici « Projet d'autobus de Madame la mairesse ». J'ai bien mentionné ça tantôt. L'autre petite question que j'avais, je vois le chalet, les chalets touristiques. J'aime bien l'idée, mais juste une petite concernation. C'est bien, ça irait plus à Donald, mais je voudrais juste m'assurer, comme j'imagine, si on fait le projet de rezonage, c'est pas ça qui va être la priorité. Pour moi, c'est surtout les autres. J'espère que c'est ça qui va être genre la deuxième partie du projet et non la première partie du projet est juste une façon d'aller construire des chalets touristiques à profit. Là.
Oui. C'est la première phase qu'on veut principalement développer, c'est la partie en jaune. Là. OK? Parce que celui-là, il va avoir des logements abordables aussi, avec ce que c'est qu'on veut faire dans la vieille partie ou la partie déjà existante. Et ça va nous permettre aussi d'avoir des logements qui seront pour le public et nous permettre d'avoir des fonds nécessaires pour la gestion de la compagnie.
Parfait. Merci.
La partie en bleu, qu'on a appelée pour le tourisme, là, les chalets,
Oui.
il se peut aussi, parce qu'il y a des argents actuellement disponibles au niveau de la Société centrale d'hypothèque et logement, pour développer un plan d'appartenance de logement ou de bâtiment ou de maison. Okay. Si ça se développe, on pourra en faire une partie sur cette période-là pour permettre à ces jeunes couples-là d'acquérir une propriété à un moment donné.
OK. Merci. Merci, ça, c'est une excellente initiative.
Parfait.
C'est
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur McLaughlin?
Okay, pour terminer, I would like to inform the public that they have 30 days from today to submit the written objection or comment for the proposed amendment to the municipal plan. Council will meet at 6:30 Monday, November 22nd, 2021, to consider written objection to the proposed amendments. Anyone wishing to address City Council or on the written objection may do so at that time. Also, if the public would like to have more information, they could contact the City of Bathurst Planning Department at 548-0457. Thank you, Your Worship.
Merci. Thank you. Point 10, résolution provisoire. 10.1, assentiment de servitude municipale de services municipaux, plan de lotissement Robichaud et Turner, conseiller Lagacé.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move, whereas a storm line has been installed on the property having PIDs 207-73495 and 207-28051, and whereas the owners agree with the location of the storm line, and whereas the owners agree to grant a municipal service easement to the city, and whereas the location of the municipal service easement is identified on the subdivision plan prepared by East Coast Survey dated June 23, 2021, and having reference number 6715, and whereas pursuant to the Community Planning Act, Council must give assent for these municipal service easements. Now therefore be it resolved that Council assent to the municipal service easement identified on the subdivision plan prepared by East Coast Survey dated June 23, 2021, and having reference number 6715, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Hondas. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew, did you want to? Mr. McLaughlin?
Oui, cette résolution ici, la prochaine, c'est quelque chose de standard. À chaque fois que la ville appartient à des infrastructures, eau, égouts, eau pluviale, égouts sanitaires ou l'eau, on a besoin de s'assurer qu'on a accès futur sur le terrain, soit pour faire la maintenance, soit pour remplacer les lignes. Ça fait présentement ces documents ici, ces résolutions-là, ça nous donne le pouvoir avec un plan de subdivision, ça nous donne l'autorité d'aller sur les propriétés pour les questions de sécurité aussi. C'est un peu ça. Il y en a beaucoup qui appellent ça plus ou moins des droits de passage, des right-of-way, mais dans le domaine municipal, on appelle ça des servitudes municipales.
Parfait. 10.2, assentiment de servitude municipale de services municipaux, 500 rue Maine. Deputy Mayor Hondas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move whereas municipal infrastructures is presently installed on a property having PID number 208-88350, and whereas a portion of the existing municipal services easement needs to be relocated, and whereas the owner agrees to the relocation of the municipal service easement to the city, and whereas the location of the municipal service easement identified on the subdivision plan prepared by East Coast Survey having reference number 7242, and as whereas pursuant to the Community Planning Act, Council must give assent to these municipal service easements. Now therefore be it resolved that Council assent to the municipal service easement identified on the subdivision plan prepared by East Coast Surveys having reference number 7242, and the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Deputy Councillor Brunette. All right. Mr. Pettigrew, before we go to the question. Back to Mr. McLaughlin. Mr. McLaughlin.
Pour cette situation-ci, c'est la même chose. La seule différence, c'est qu'on avait déjà un droit de passage, un easement municipal, mais on a dû le relocaliser à cause d'un agrandissement du bâtiment principal. Ça fait qu'avec la coopération du propriétaire, on relocalise un easement existant.
Okay. Does council have questions for Mr. McLaughlin? No?
Need a vote?
All those, oh, yes, yeah, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I guess I didn't go to the vote of 10.1. Sorry. So all those in favor, so did I get a seconder for 10.1? Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye for 10.1, which is with Councillor Legacy. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, so now with Deputy Hondas, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 10.3, renewal of Versadex PIMITS application software and interface for police services and regional fire dispatch. Councillor Willett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to move that the members of council authorize a payment of $75,541 payable to the Department of Justice and Public Safety for Versatex application software and interface.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Legacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew. Chief Roy.
Mayor. So this is in reference to payments for our operating system for police. So PIMITS is what we work with. The Versaterm CAD, the amount of $35,880, that's the RMS system, the operating system that our police force works with. And the PIMITS is the network, the internet network. I'm sure an IT specialist would be better equipped to inform you on what that's all about. But and the two new amounts that you see there for e-disclosure and e-just, and this is going, all four of these amounts are going to be a recurring amount every year. The two new ones, the e-just and e-disclosure, we have been moving to an electronic disclosure platform. We have a file, a police file with a whole bunch of documents. Everything will be done electronically now. We're going to be saving copious amounts of time as far as printing, paper, documents, everything. We have a file. It's put in our RMS system and it's emailed to the prosecutor's office. We do not need to send any papers over, any videos over. So the duplication of videos, DVDs and all that. So it's a wonderful system. We're just getting on board now. It's been a lot of work. And the officers and the court system are very, very grateful for this. So.
Perfect. Good. Supply of course highway salt. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Whereas for the 2020 and 2021 season, the City of Bathurst purchased road salt from Nutrien in Sussex, New Brunswick, at the price obtained by the province of New Brunswick by taking advantage of their universal purchasing clause. And whereas this clause allows any municipality in the province to obtain salt at the same rate as the provincial contract, and whereas the lower supply price came with a higher price to truck, this means the City of Bathurst must revisit supply and trucking costs on a yearly basis, regardless of the provincial agreement. Therefore, be it resolved that after reviewing the cost of trucking for 2021-2022 season, members of council approve the extension of the contract to purchase an estimated quantity of 3,000, is that megatons, of road salt from Nutrien in Sussex, New Brunswick, for the total cost of $174,000 plus tax.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Legacy. Perfect. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Q021-21, trucking of highway salt, Deputy Mayor Hondas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Request for quote Q021-20 for trucking of highway salt be awarded to RH Fanet Trucking for the amount of $90,000 plus HST.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Willett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Transfer of Utility Operation Fund to Utility Capital Reserve Fund, Sewage Lift Station 1 and 8. Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Attendu que la ville de Bathurst a reçu un montant du fonds Chantier Canada-Nouveau-Brunswick pour la construction de 2 stations de relevage d'eau usée, des eaux usées plutôt, et attendu qu'en vertu de l'entente, un fonds de réserve de remplacement de 13 500 $ sera maintenu annuellement pour le remplacement futur de divers équipements. Qu'il soit donc résolu qu'un montant de 13 500 $ soit transféré du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout du fonds capital.
Parfait. Est-ce que je peux avoir M. Willett? Tout ça en faveur, signifie pas en disant oui? Oui. Contre? Motion adoptée. On en a 4. Après les 4, on aura l'explication. 10.7, transfert du fonds de fonctionnement des services d'eau et d'égout vers le fonds de réserve d'eau et d'égout de fonds capital agrandissement de l'usine et traitement d'eau. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Canada-New Brunswick Building Canada Fund for a major upgrade and expansion of the water treatment plant, and whereas under the agreement, a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various items, which amount has been determined to be $17,000 annually. Now therefore be it resolved that an amount of $17,000 be transferred from the utility operating fund to the utility capital reserve fund.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Hondas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll go to the next one. 10.8, transfer from utility operating fund to utility capital reserve fund, U-Haul and Queen Elizabeth Drive. Councillor Legacy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move, whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Municipal Rural Infrastructure Fund for the connection of residences to the city's water distribution system and the wastewater treatment system for U-Haul and Queen Elizabeth Drives, and whereas under the agreement, a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various short-life items, which amount has been determined to be $10,000 annually. Now therefore be it resolved that an amount of $10,000 be transferred from the utility operating fund to the utility capital reserve fund.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor LeBlanc. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 10.9, transfer from utility operating fund to utility capital reserve fund, Bayshore and Karen Drive. Deputy Mayor Hondas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Excuse me. I move that whereas the City of Bathurst received funding under the Municipal Rural Infrastructure Fund for the connection of residents to the city water distribution system and wastewater treatment system for Bayshore and Karen Drives, and whereas under the agreement a replacement reserve fund shall be maintained for future replacement of various short life items, which amount has been determined to be $6,000 annually. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the amount of $6,000 be transferred from the utility operating fund to the utility capital reserve fund.
Perfect. May I have a seconder? Councillor Burnett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew.
Thank you, Worship. These are yearly contribution amounts we make as part of the agreements with the federal government for funding when they provide us funding for projects in our water and sewer. So just to give you an update of following this year's contribution, we'll have a balance of $581,966 in the funds to allow us to be used for various items in the future when we need to replace or repair at these locations in these projects. So after today's contribution, we're at $581,966.
Perfect. 10.10, money in lieu of parkland, Norman Ross Young and Edith May Young subdivision. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move whereas Mrs. Edith May Young has submitted to the City of Bathurst Planning Department for approval a subdivision plan entitled Norman Ross Young and Edith May Young subdivision. The purpose of this subdivision plan is to create one building lot along U-Haul Drive, and whereas the subdivision bylaw requires the setting aside of land for public purpose, or council may require, in lieu of parkland, that a sum of money be paid to the city, and whereas the city already owns several blocks of land designated as parkland in the area, and whereas the municipal planning officer recommends to council to approve in lieu of parkland a sum of money, and now therefore be it resolved that money be paid to the city in lieu of parkland equivalent to 6% of the market value of the land, which in this case represents $9,360, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all documents on behalf of the city. All proceeds will be deposited in the parkland reserved account.
Perfect. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Willett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to Mr. McLaughlin.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yeah, the resolution talked by itself, but I'm going to give a bit more information. That's a requirement under the subdivision bylaw. The only time that we're going to ask for land, which represent 10% of the land, when if a developer proposed to create a subdivision, maybe with a 30 lot or something like that, 40 lot, then there's a need for a small park. In this situation, because we don't need park in U-Haul, we already have a U-Haul Beach, a park in 2 other park in the area. Then there's a recommendation to council to take in your park, to take money in your parkland, and that's a practice that most of all municipalities have when they create a new subdivision, even a small piece of land. We have to take in consideration though the money that we that got here that's going to be transferred to parkland, and that will be reinvest in existing infrastructure or existing park.
Perfect. We have a question from Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Do we know approximately what that reserve fund is at right now?
I will go back to Mr. McLaughlin.
I don't have that information, but the Treasury Department could provide that to City Council very easily.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm on a few parks committees, and if there's money to be spent there somewhere, I'll be after it. So, thank you.
I'm one step ahead of you. I already had that conversation with Mr. McLaughlin already this week, so we'll be chatting. Perfect. I thought of the same thing, Councillor Burnett. All right. So 10.11, collective agreement, the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, Local 1386, police officer and dispatcher of the City of Bathurst. Councillor Burnett.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Whereas the collective agreement between the City of Bathurst and the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, Local 1386, the Bathurst Police Association, police officers and dispatchers of the City of Bathurst, expired December the 31st, 2019, and whereas both parties reached agreement on a new collective agreement for the period of January the 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023, now therefore it be resolved that the collective agreement between the City of Bathurst and the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, Local 1386, the Bathurst Police Association, police officers and dispatchers of the City of Bathurst, effective January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2023 be accepted, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to sign the necessary contract documents for and on behalf of the city.
Perfect. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Legacy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew. Monsieur Laplante.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Donc, comme c'est mentionné dans la résolution, la convention collective avec les policiers dispatchers a été échue depuis décembre 2019. Donc, la nouvelle convention collective est pour une durée de 4 ans, donc jusqu'à la fin de l'année 2023. Je tiens d'ailleurs à mentionner ou à remercier plutôt les membres de l'équipe de négociation, autant du côté de l'association que de la ville pour leur travail. Ça a été un long processus, puis on est content d'avoir une convention qui est bonne pour les deux parties. puis qui va durer là, jusqu'à la fin 2023.
C'est une très bonne nouvelle. Merci beaucoup. Items discussed in camera. 10.12.1, Sale of Land, 2050 Industrial Drive, Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Je propose que les membres du Conseil approuvent les recommandations du Comité d'expansion commerciale concernant la vente du terrain ayant le NI 208208257 et étant situé au 2050 Avenue Industrial, comme discuté à huis clos le 28 juin 2021, en vertu de l'article 68 de la loi sur la gouvernance locale, et que l'acheteur sera responsable du coût du ponceau, et que l'acheteur sera responsable des frais légaux, de lotissement et de l'enregistrement, qu'il soit résolu que la mairesse et la greffière municipale soient autorisées à signer tous les documents connexes au nom de la ville concernant la vente du terrain situé au 2050 Avenue Industrial.
Parfait. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Député maire Handaz. Tous ceux en faveur signifiant par disant oui.
Oui.
Contre? Motion adoptée. 10.12.2, modification des limites municipales de Bathurst, Abbotsford, Ruelle, Christie. Councillor Knowles.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that members of council approve the transfer of the property known as PID 2002-9591 to the town of Beresford as discussed in camera on September 20th, 2021, pursuant to Section 68 of the Local Governance Act, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
Perfect. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Burnett. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des affaires nouvelles?
Aucune affaire nouvelle.
Do we have any old business?
No old business.
Okay. Items for information and others. Do we have any committee report?
We have no committee reports this evening.
Okay. Departmental update.
We have a departmental update from the fire department, Fire Chief Danny Boucher.
Bonjour, Chef Boucher.
Madam Mayor, councillors, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for the appointment of the fire chief. It is a responsibility that I take very seriously and I hold very close to my heart. I would also like to thank City Manager Todd Pettigrew, Human Resources Department Sarah Morton, and Veronique Roy for their encouragement and continued support. I'd also like to thank the past chief, Mark Arsenault, for his recommendation of me to you. The past chief has brought in new ideas and updated ways of doing things from his years of experience with the military. He is responsible for a new and revamped training schedule, a new system of communicating with the firefighters, monthly meetings with the platoon captains, dealing with each individual characters, a stress on positive aspects of the firefighters' work, things that I will keep on doing. I would also like to commend Mayor and Council for your commitment to safety of the residents and the business owners of the City of Bathurst. By providing the fire department with updated tools, equipment, and training so that we can provide the best protection to our citizens and their properties. In closing, once again, thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Félicitations.
Merci.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
All right. Mayor's report. J'aimerais débuter au nom du Conseil municipal, les membres de la force policière de Bathurst et le personnel de la ville de Bathurst. Nous exprimons nos plus profondes sympathies et souhaitent de condoléances à la famille de Lloyd Armstrong, qui est décédé le 14 octobre à l'âge de 78 ans. Lloyd a dévoué 40 ans de sa vie à la carrière de la force policière, servant 27 ans au sein de la GRC, avant de tenir le poste de chef de la force policière de Bathurst de septembre 1988 à septembre 2001. Il était certainement du caractère à apprécier tous les beaux moments de la vie, particulièrement avec sa famille dont il tenait à cœur par-dessus tout. Du côté professionnel, il a fièrement servi la profession policière, guidant une expertise dévouée le parcours de la force policière de Bathurst, n'hésitant jamais à offrir conseils et appui à ses pairs. Le drapeau de la ville de Bathurst sera en berne en mémoire de Lloyd Armstrong, ceci jusqu'à mercredi matin le 20 octobre. Encore une fois, nos plus sincères sympathies à la famille de Lloyd Armstrong en ce moment difficile. C'est pas facile de perdre un cher. On en a quelques-uns. Je pense qu'il y a une famille de la famille Dale Knowles aussi qui est décédée. Donc, ce temps-ci de l'année, c'est pas évident. Remembrance Day is coming on November 11th. So every year, the Royal Canadian Legion conduct a poppy campaign, along with thousands of our members who volunteer from coast to coast to coast to raise funds in support of veterans and their families. The poppy campaign launch will begin on October 29th. The poppies will be sold in-store. Please support the poppy campaign. Because of COVID, they will not be outside of the stores. They will be inside the merchant store, so please support the poppy campaign. On November 11th, there will be a ceremony that will be held at the cenotaph in front of the provincial courthouse on St. Patrick Street. However, it is still outside with limited space, so it will also be streamed live on the City of Bathurst Facebook page. So for some of you that cannot attend, it will be on Facebook Live as we did last year. I want to wish everybody a wonderful evening and a great week, and we will go to the adjournment of the meeting, which will be Councillor Ouellet.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Je propose que la séance ordinaire publique soit levée à 7h25.
Parfait. Est-ce que je peux avoir quelqu'un pour l'appuyer? Député Marandas, tout ça en faveur signifiant en disant oui. Contre, motion adoptée, réunion finie. Merci. Bonne journée à tous.